Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up weekdays. Catch us live somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon. Good evening and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits, because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. We got some breaking news that's going on right now. We're a little bit behind, but it is what it is. It just is what it is when it comes to breaking news things. You catch wind on it and then you try to jump on as quickly as you can before anything subsides or changes. But there is something very serious going on out here. There's been a lot of... Let me just... Hold on. Today is election day. Let me make that abundantly clear. Today is election day. There's a massive mayoral election going on in New York right now. Okay? There's a bunch of stuff that's going on all over the country. A lot of elections going on all over the place. There have been boom threats going out the wazoo today. There was a boom threat at a voting poll, okay, at a voting facility, all right, in New Jersey. There have been a lot of random things and hoaxes and fake information, okay, flying out the gates. Now we have something going on in D.C. at the Reagan National Airport. The question is this another fugazi or is this the real deal? We're going to find out. So please do me a favor, okay? Before we get into everything, hit that like button down below. Crush it, do it, hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, please make sure you hit that reaction button, but also follow those pages, specifically my TikTok and my Facebook. You gotta follow me on those things because I'm giving you guys so much, and YouTube, of course, too, but I'm giving you guys a lot of articles on Facebook, a lot of updates, breaking news information that's coming out fast. I mean, a lot of this stuff I'm just shooting on my phone. I'm like, bang, 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 just giving you guys information quickly because news is flying like crazy as of, forever now, okay? So make sure you are following me on all those platforms, all right? Subscribe here on my YouTube channel, please and thank you. Subscribe. Make sure you go over and subscribe to Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. They're all on YouTube as well. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell on all those platforms so you know whenever I go live. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, it's random. And it's going to be like this for a while. I'm just going to be real. There's so much breaking news stuff going on. It's knuckin' futz. So make sure you have that notification bell set to all. All right? And of course, first thing you got to do before you hit that notification bell is subscribe. Also, hit that join button down below. Crush it. Support the channel if you can. Check out my Patreon. And of course, check out PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys. We got to get into some things, okay? And I will say this too, okay? Shameless plug. I am in the middle of raising some money, some funds, so I can get this IRL streaming rig, okay? So I can go out in the streets, interview people, talk to people out in the streets, do live coverage out at protests, at gatherings, at events, at anything, right? Everything and anything, because I want to talk to everybody. I want to talk to y'all. I want to get out there and talk to the people and hear what they got to say. Aside from just being in this room, just having conversations with people. So I have a GoFundMe. All right. A little goes a long way. If you have a little bit, if you got $2, cool. If you got $200, great. That'd be amazing. No pressure though. Okay. Because I know we're living in some trying times right now. But I do have this GoFundMe. It's pinned at the top of the chat right there. The link is pinned at the top of the chat, and it's in the description box down below, just so you guys know. Okay? But let's get into this, all right? Because apparently they're saying that there was a boom threat, okay, in the likes of Reagan International Airport, okay? where, of course, people are literally they stopped an airplane, okay, a United Airlines airplane, and then they have grounded all flights. Okay, so let's take a look at some of this stuff here. All right, because this is absolutely insane. Again, let me just say this too. Fair warning, I have a feeling this is a fugazi. Okay? This, I feel, is a fugazi. Just to be completely real, I feel like it is. I feel like it's a hoax because there was another boom boom threat yesterday as well, if I'm correct, on a Frontier airline flight. And that only to be found out that that was fake as well. Okay. And a fugazi. Let me get the proper terminology so you guys got it. What is a fugazi? Fugazi. Okay. Fugazi, just so you know, is slang for something that is fake, false, or bogus. All right. It may also refer to something damaged beyond repair or a bad situation. The term is often used to describe things that are counterfeit or not what they seem. Just so you guys have it, I want to make sure you guys understand what a fugazi is. Okay? It's a fu was it? A fu something. A fu was it? A fugazi. Okay? If you haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street, just watch the Matthew McConaughey, Leonardo DiCaprio scene, and you'll understand exactly what I'm referencing to. Okay? It's a what's it? It's a who's it? It's a what's it? It's a fu what's it? It's a fugazi. Okay? Fugazi, as Matthew McConaughey would say. Okay? So, just so you know, ground stop at Reagan Airport ends after reported boom boom threat. Okay? So, an unconfirmed report of a bomb threat led to a temporary ground stop at Reagan National Airport outside D.C. Our Washington News Bureau reports that the alleged threat was made on a United Airlines plane from Houston that landed at Reagan Airport today. According to air traffic control audio, air traffic controllers received an unconfirmed boom boom threat for the plane and asked them to move to the edge of the runway. Passengers from the plane are being offloaded and bused to the airport terminal. Reagan Airport officials said the runway was able to be reopened just a little bit ago, and flights have finally resumed. So I'm assuming this is fake, like this was a fugazi. Okay, we're gonna learn words today. Okay, because I forgot the word that we just learned yesterday. Oh, I feel like a jerk. Perspicacious. I forgot the name. I forgot the word. I'm gonna have to look it up again. Okay, but we're learning words. We're learning vocabulary. Okay, on this show. All right. The FAA. They say the FAA is aware of a reported security issue on an aircraft at Reagan Washington National Airport. The agency said in a statement, passengers have been removed, and the airport is away from the aircraft. I'm sorry, is away from the terminal while authorities investigate. So, again, this could very well be what? A fugazi. Just so you know, this could be fake news. But still, no matter what, I'm going to be real. You don't do this. Okay, you don't do this. These false claims, these false reports, these fake hoax, boom boom threats. We had one yesterday, or it was the day before, or yesterday. But no matter what, you have a threat that happened on the Frontier Airlines. Then you have United Airlines hearing something about some sort of boom boom threat. Okay, so they ground that plane, and they ground all planes. And let's not forget, this is a problem that we're seeing right now, added on top of the problems that we're having with travel in the first place. Remember, we got government shutdown. So there is a lot of stuff that's going on with with flying. Air traffic controllers are not getting paid. More and more people are basically calling in sick or not showing up to work anymore. So things are getting bad and messy. And I'm telling you right now, if you have plans to travel this holiday season, it might be the most horrible time of the year. It might be the worst. Consider doing road trips. I know it might be a couple extra hours in a car, and your kids are going, "Are we there yet?" all day long. But I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Don't get in that. Don't try to fly. If you can do it, and it's only a few hours to drive, just mother loving drive. Because you're not going to get to your destination on time, and you're going to get there on time. You're going to be like, "Oh damn, I got here on time. What is going on? What shutdown? What shutdown is going on? I don't know what you're talking about. Shutdown didn't happen here. Didn't affect me." But then you got to fly back. Remember, you got to fly back home, and that's when they're going to get you. You're going to get on that flight, and the next thing you know, they're going to like, ladies and gentlemen on the plane, we won't be able to fly because everybody quit. You know what I mean? And then you're stuck back at home, eating Thanksgiving leftovers, wearing the same clothes you wore for the whole weekend. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out, sweating bullets, because you got to get back home so you can get back to work. I'm telling you right now, if you can do, somebody just said, I saw in the corner of my eye, something about a staycation. Do that staycation, baby. Do it. Okay? I get it. You want to see your kids. You want to see, or you want to see family, and you want your kids to go travel and see Gam Gam and Paw Paw and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I get it, baby. But I'm telling you right now, this might not be the time where you get you know what I mean? It just might not be that time. Yeah. No, Johnny Gill Christmas playing in the background. No Luther Vandross. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. It just may not be that situation unless you road trip. I'm just letting you know. It's that time of year. You know what I mean? Yeah, you just might have to get nice and cozy back at home. Yeah, it's a great excuse if you hate your in-laws. Let me be real. Oh, damn, government shutdown. Can't fly. Then you can't sit there and have to like really act like you enjoy your wife's mama's casserole. Like, so good. Oh, God. Putting on your best poker face. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that one meal. It's that one thing that's on the table that doesn't really get touched. But people try to take a spoonful of it just to be nice to that relative that made that concoction. You know what I mean? What is that? Oh, that's my festive Jello. That's Jello. Okay. Here, have some. No. Did you use dishwashing soap in there? Yes, I did. How did you know? Road trip, or use the government shutdown as an excuse. Okay, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay, just don't do it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, it'll be that one thing. You got to be nice. You got to be nice with the in-laws. It's written in marital law. It's not. It's not. It's not. I'm just saying. All right. But here we go. Let's take a look at this. We got to take a look at this. Okay. It may be fake news. It may be a hoax, but there's been a lot of hoaxes that have been going on. Let me repeat this again. New Jersey voting facilities. There was a boom boom threat at one of them in New Jersey. Now we have this on a plane. Yesterday, there was another one on a mother-loving plane, okay? On a Frontier airline plane. And I get it. With Frontier, you're like, I got to pay what for my carry-on? I understand the rage, okay? But these are all fugazis. These is all fake news that's out here. Trust me, I want to, it's my carry-on. I should be able to put this on for free. You mean to tell me I got to pay $40 more for this little bag? Shut up. You know what I mean? I get the rage. Sorry. I got emotional there. I'm going to calm down. Sorry. That triggered me. But you know exactly what I'm talking about. I understand the rage, but this is not cool. This is not cool at all. All right? We keep that rage on the inside. Okay? We keep it on the inside. That's what we do. And then we take it out at the gym, okay? We pump it out, okay? That's what we do. Or go for a run or do something peaceful like crochet and yoga or some stupid thing like that. Anyway, moving on. Let's take a listen.
Just into our newsroom right here. Flights are grounded at Reagan National Airport. This is a live look from Fox 5 Skycam, and I did want to pull this out as Reagan Airport did share this via social media, saying all flight operations are being held at Reagan National while passengers on a United Airlines flight are being offloaded and bused to the terminal. We will provide more information as it becomes available, and a live look right here at this United airplane, and it's a little unclear as to whether this specifically might be the plane in question, but I did want to share a little bit more information from Reuters, and this is a post right here that Reuters just shared saying that the FAA said it issued a ground stop for traffic at Reagan Washington National Airport over a security issue. So we have a little bit more information from Reuters here saying that it issued a ground stop for traffic at the airport over a security issue. Flight Radar 24, which is a flight tracking site, said the issue was due to an unconfirmed threat against a United Airlines airplane that had been moved away from other aircraft at the airport. The FAA and United did not immediately respond to requests from comment. All of this coming from Reuters. So we do see a live look at this United Airlines airplane. And according to this Reuters information, an airplane from United, and we do see this live look focused on this particular airplane, although it is not yet confirmed whether that is the airplane in question. We do see that it is standing alone, isolated.
I mean, I think you could do the reverse math and go, yeah, this is right here on this runway by its damn self, and people were getting escorted off the damn plane in the middle of this damn runway, far away from the actual airport, from the actual terminal or terminals. So, I mean, I feel like it's fair to say that this is the plane. Now, unconfirmed, yes, it's unconfirmed threats. That is very true. Unconfirmed threat. That's what they're saying. All right. It could have been a misunderstanding on, like, you know what I mean? It could have been a misunderstanding from air traffic control. Maybe the airline, I don't know, the pilot was basically saying, this flight is the bomb, man. And then he's like, what did you just say? Did you just say B-O-M-B? You know what I'm saying? Or like, man, the Trump's interview with 60 Minutes was explosive. And they said, what? You said explosive? You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it was, a misunderstanding. Maybe it was lost in translation, right? I doubt it. But at the same time, come on now. Come on now. You know, man, this 747 just glides through the air. Man, this flight is dynamite. Wait, what? You said dynamite? You know? Wilder things have happened. Let's continue.
But passengers were offloaded from a United Airlines flight at Reagan National Airport moments ago after a reported security incident. So this flight, and we're just getting new information, this is flight UA 512 that was arriving from Houston, Texas. It landed at around noon local time. This point, it's breaking news. The nature of this incident remains unclear, but this is a live look from the tarmac at Reagan National Airport. Earlier, there were emergency vehicles surrounding the aircraft, and it does look like there's at least one vehicle standing by right here, but it was surrounding the aircraft on the runway. So this is a live look from Reagan National Airport, as we do know that passengers from a United Airlines flight were offloaded at around noontime. The particular airplane was isolated from other aircraft at the airport because of, according to Reuters, an unconfirmed threat against this particular airplane. Fox 5 DC is sharing this, is saying that there was a reported security incident. And hold on one moment, my producer's trying to talk to me. Let's listen into this.
She's like, I got to talk to the producer. Okay. Don't forget to.
All right. So we are continuing to follow this.
Don't forget to mention Cheetos. They're really fantastic. You have to say it exactly like that. You can continue, but don't forget to bring in the ads for Cheetos. Okay?
Breaking news, but this is a social media post by Fox 5 DC. As we continue to follow this breaking news right here, there was a reported security incident at Reagan National Airport. This is a live look at this United Airlines airplane. You can actually see, if you look at this, there's a bunch of people now walking towards this airplane. It's unclear as to who exactly these personnel are, but on the lower hand side of your screen, kind of near the tail of this airplane, you can see a group of people congregating right here. And we do see at least one vehicle there on the tarmac. This is the very latest information. The FAA saying that it issued a ground stop for traffic at Reagan Washington National Airport over a security issue. What that particular security issue was, it remains unclear. However, Flight Radar 24, which is a flight tracking site, said the issue was due to an unconfirmed threat against a United Airlines airplane that had been moved away from other aircraft at the airport. So this is a social media post by Flight Radar 24 saying the current security hold at DCA is due to an unconfirmed threat against an arriving aircraft, UA 512. That aircraft has been moved away from the terminal area and operations remain on hold.
Okay.
This is a live look right here.
Real quick, because we do have some audio of the actual air traffic control with the actual flight. So I want to play that real quick for you.
Yeah, 512.
I'm going to run it again without me talking over it. Hold on.
Yeah, 512. I'm sorry to have to do this to you. We got to turn you again, sir. We're going to put you in the block at 22. We have an unconfirmed bomb report for your flight. So we got to get you away from the airport. Make 180. Taxi Mike and hold short May 1.
All right. Making 180 Mike and short of runway 1, United 512.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
No worries.
I'm going to play that again so you guys can actually see the captioning, so you understand fully what's being said here. This is very interesting. Here's the other thing. Let me just say this too. Let me make this abundantly clear before we get into before we listen to this, okay? Because I think this is very important, and I think that this is the moment where this is where it gets things are getting sketchy. Long story short, the reason why I say things are getting sketchy is because let's not forget, this government shutdown is affecting so many things that we're going to talk about. And I know some of y'all like, oh, we're going to talk about all that boring stuff, or I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about explosives. But here's the thing. All of this, I think, is connected. No, I'm not wearing my Candace Owens hat. Okay. So sorry. I'm not wearing my Candace Owens hat, okay? My tinfoil hat, all right? I'm not wearing my tinfoil hat, all right? I'm not. I said it. But here's the thing. The reason why I'm saying this is because government shutdown happens. Air traffic control is jacked up. We got information on that too. It's about to get so freaking hairy. It's going to be bad. And no, I'm not wearing my tinfoil hat. This is all facts. Don't worry. I'm not going to be sitting there going, what does that mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? No, don't worry. I'm not going to do you like that. I'm not going to do you like that. I'm just going to give you the facts though. And I'm going to let you guys have your tinfoil hats screwed tightly onto your craniums. Okay. But as you already know, the air traffic control jobs are not, I don't think they're, the potential of them not doing their jobs to its best is very possible, because there are people who are leaving the job. People that are, jobs are, the air traffic control jobs, they're leaving those jobs quick because they're not getting paid. These people have to pay bills. They have to pay rent. They have to keep their lights on. People are literally going into serious debt right now because of what has happened. It's been well over a month. Let me remind you, it's been well over a month since the government shutdown has begun, and nothing has changed. So these air traffic controllers, you never know. It might not be their best in the best. It might not. It might be the second or third person on the ladder. I hate to say it like that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to this air traffic controller that we're about to listen to again. But at the same time, think about it. These people are sitting there going like, F this. I do not have time to work this job, do these countless hours, and know that I'm coming back home without a paycheck. There are guys that are still trying to hold down their job as an air traffic controller, and then they're going out and they're driving Uber. They're doing DoorDash just so that they can make ends meet. That is not a life to live. Their salary job that should be keeping their lights on, gone, turned into basically a hobby. Imagine that. Imagine that. That side hustle becomes their main hustle, because their main hustle now has turned into a passion piece. Do you understand? Do you hear? Do you hear what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So you never know who's running air traffic control right now. They could be anybody right now. I know. I sound crazy. I probably sound crazy. I'm not trying to be, but just think about this. They're supposed to be getting paid, baby, but they're not. And a lot of those guys aren't showing up anymore. They're calling in sick, or they're going, I got to work over here so I can feed my family. And I don't blame them. But here's the thing. Who's actually running air traffic control? There's so much more information about this air traffic control crap. It's going to blow your mind. There's an update that just happened over about an hour ago. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. But again, let's take a listen to what air traffic control said to this airline, to this plane. Okay?
Yeah, 512. I'm sorry to have to do this to you. We got to turn you again, sir. We're going to put you in the block at 22. We have an unconfirmed bomb report for your flight. We got to get you away from the airport. Make a 180. Taxi Mike and hold short me 1.
So again, let me roll that back again so you can see that. We have an unconfirmed boom boom report for your flight. Where did he get that? I'm hoping that they do some due diligence and find out exactly where this unconfirmed boom boom threat was. Okay? Did the plane shake a little bit and it got him a little concerned? Did he have a premonition? Like, what happened? That makes no sense. Unconfirmed boom boom threat. Remember, there was another boom boom threat on a Frontier airline flight yesterday, if I'm correct. Apparently somebody wrote there's a boom boom on the plane And I think they put it, somebody found it in the bathroom. Somebody found it in the damn latrine of the plane. And that happened yesterday. And now we're seeing this crap. I know. Tinfoil hat. Tinfoil hat is on. I have to say this, but I feel like this is with the government shutdown. You got the boom boom threat yesterday on a plane. You got another boom boom threat on this plane. It's all connected. It's all connected. Why is this happening like this? This is the only moment where I'm really wearing my tinfoil hat right now. Okay? Yeah, you know, GN, like, yeah, it's like, stay calm, but your plane is rigged. How are you supposed to react to that? If I was flying that plane that it said, yeah, you know, there's an unconfirmed boom boom report on your flight, I'm pooping my pants right there. Full on just defecating all over the cockpit. Okay? All over. I'm done. What? Yeah, I'm banging the Huey. I'm banging the Huey. You know? I'm calling people that like and telling them the truth of what I really think about them because I'm like, hey, I'm about to go by. You know what I'm saying? Calling that in-law. I don't like your Jell-O. It's trash. It tastes like dishwash soap. F you and that mother-loving Jell-O on Thanksgiving. How dare you? You're poisoning your kids with that. You know what I mean? It's my last chance. Shoot my shot. Shoot.
Right. We got to get you away from the airport. Make a 180. Taxi Mike and hold short May 1.
All right. Making 180, Mike, and short of runway 1, United 512.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. No worries. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, no worries. I'm saying where, who, what, when, where, and why. You know what I mean? It's okay. No worries. We'll joke and laugh about this later on, you know, with a cup of Joe. You know? This is the audio. And there's an unconfirmed boom boom threat on your plane. Please bang a Huey, if you don't mind. No worries. That makes no sense, guys. Let me get this reporter back. Let me let her cook a little bit more. Let her do her thing, girl.
Here of that airplane, and we do know that all flight operations are being held while passengers on this particular flight were being offloaded and they were bused to the terminal. So we're continuing to gather new information as we take a look at what the FAA is reporting, what Flight Radar 24 is reporting, and of course what our Fox 5 DC team is reporting right here. Just to give you a little bit more information about this particular flight, this is UA 512. It was arriving from Houston, Texas. It landed at around noon local time. The nature, though, of this incident, this security incident, remains unclear, although Flight Radar 24 says that it was due to an unconfirmed threat against a United Airlines airplane. So this airplane that we see right here, and this is the one that this particular live camera is concentrating on. We do know that the United Airlines airplane in question had been moved away from other aircraft at the airport. So we did want to share that with you right here as we continue to follow all of the very latest information. And we, of course, are, continuing to comb all of the social media, all of the reaction and responses. But this is what Reagan Airport has been sharing, saying that all flight operations are being held at Reagan National while passengers on a United Airlines flight are being offloaded and bused to the terminal. We will provide more information as it becomes available. So this is also what Reuters said, saying that there is a ground stop right now for traffic at Reagan Washington National Airport over a security issue. We are expecting to hear more information about this, but just to let you know that all of the passengers on this particular United Airlines airplane, they were offloaded and then bused to the terminal. So all the folks who were on board this particular flight, and this is flight UA 512, it arrived from Houston, landing there in the DC area at around noontime. They were offloaded the plane and then bused to the terminal. We do see from this live picture right here, there is a large number of people congregating at the tarmac, and all we see is this particular plane, as we do know that it was isolated from other aircraft at this airport. We also see a vehicle near the nose of the plane. We haven't seen anyone board the plane. We haven't seen anyone taken off. We do know that the passengers who were on that plane were offloaded and then bused to a terminal because of a security incident. Now, what that
hold on.
security incident was, we don't know. We're still waiting for that information as we continue to receive more.
Okay, so of course, when they get more, they're obviously, this is a little bit behind, right? This was about an hour ago when this whole thing went down, but nonetheless, you have a boom boom threat on this plane. Everybody's okay, which is obviously very good. Okay. So what if this is true? Okay. This is some interesting news. Okay. I am looking into it, Patty. I'm seeing the chat. I'm seeing what you're saying. Okay. Let me look into that before I do that. Hold on. First things first, let's talk about this plane. All right. Now, again, they said that this plane came from Houston, flew in, went down, obviously landed, got some more people. I'm assuming, and they were maybe about to. Well, it says, okay, all flights in and out of Reagan Airport have been halted due. I'm reading this off screen. I'm sorry, guys, but have been halted due to a boom boom threat on a flight that was supposed to land about 20 minutes ago. Many other flights have been diverted or are in a holding pattern. So in other words, they're flying in circles around Reagan Airport. And let's not forget, remember the collision? Remember the Black Hawk and the American Airlines jet that was flying and they collided, right? This is the same area. This is the same airport. And you already know that they have thousands of planes that go in and out, that take off and land in this airport. I just want to make that abundantly clear. So a lot of these flights that are supposed to be landing there, I mean, yeah, that you could divert them to some other, airport, but it might not be the area that people want to be landing in. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I'm here to be in DC. I'm not here to be flying somewhere else 100 miles away. I'm here to be landing in DC because I got things to do. It's DC, for crying out loud, right? So yes, and Penny, I agree. Flying in circles is the worst thing ever, all right? Because you're just flying in circles, all right? But you got planes that are flying in circles as they were basically, let me just get a still of this, as they were basically waiting for this plane to, one, deplane the people, and of course, get that plane moved somewhere far away from harming other people and all the other people that are trying to live and travel, right? So this has caused quite the damper with this situation. But now we have some information because, of course, I'm assuming because they were able to basically taxi this plane off to somewhere else. So the plane is not at this on that runway. It's not anywhere near anyone that would cause any harm. But again, this is not a confirmed situation. It's not confirmed whether or not there really is a boom boom on that flight or not. Okay, it's not a confirmed boom boom threat. So it could just be a fugazi, right? So we'll find out more information here soon. But here's something that's very true. This is some serious stuff. Yes, I'm making light of it a little bit because we live in a time where if you're not laughing at the stuff, you're crying, right? But we are living in some really crazy times. And there's a couple things that we need to talk about that are in connection to this. And I feel that are in connection to all of this. First things first, one of them that is most definitely connected to all of this, with the government shutdown, with the air, with travel, and could be a huge damper in the future of our traveling experiences. This is why I'm saying we must think about doing road trips from this point on until they turn the lights back on with the government. Because if you didn't already know, the government shutdown is actually happening and it's in full effect. And we haven't even begun to talk about SNAP benefits. We're going to talk about that in a second. Well, let's continue talking about what's going on in the air. We just had a boom boom threat yesterday. We had another boom boom threat today, just now. Most likely a hoax, but we'll find out. I'm gonna keep an eye on it so we can find out more information. But I'm assuming it is a fugazi. All right, it's fake news. But there is something that could potentially be happening with our air, with our airspace, with our traveling experiences, which could be a huge damper on everybody when it comes to holiday travel. Let's take a look at this. So now they're saying Department of Transportation might be forced to shut down some airspace next week. No. Oh, no. Why could this be happening? Why? Why could they be shutting down some of the airspace next week? What could it be? I can't hear you. I'm sorry. What? Okay, I'll answer it for you. Because of the government shutdown. Yeah. I don't know what that was, but we're going to go with it. The government shutdown. Yeah. That's part of it. Yeah. Budget cuts. With the government shutdown. Yeah. So this is why I say, why don't you think about driving? Man, I love me a good road trip if it's with the right people. You know what I'm saying? Not that pesky kid that keeps hitting the back of your seat the entire time saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? You know what I mean? That's annoying. Okay? But they're shutting down some. How much is some, though? Because some could be, a lot, or it could be very little, but doesn't matter. Airspace shutting down. There's a lot of air. There's a whole lot of air. There's a lot of space up in the air. Whole lot of real estate up in the air. And they're saying some of it's going to be shut down, closed off because of the government shutdown. Yeah. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. Let me be real too, okay? This is just my opinion, okay? This is just my opinion. You are completely entitled to yours. But with everything that's going on right now, all of this stuff that's getting flipped upside down and inside out has to do with both sides of the situation. You got the damn Republicans and them damn Democrats, both of them, both sides, not willing to see eye to eye or find some sort of agreement so that they can move the F on. At this point, I blame both sides. Because now it's affecting everything. We can't even eat. Well, not me, but 42 million people can't even eat. Children can't even eat. And now they're shutting down airspace. when it's already up. You know what I'm saying? It's already jacked up. At this point, y'all, yes, in the very beginning, you can look at one point, one area, right? You can look at one point and say, oh, okay, yeah, it's the damn Demis, and you're shaking your fist at them. You know what I mean? Damn those Demis. And then 2 seconds later, you're like, well, damn, the Republicans, all they doing is just throwing the damn Demis under the bus. But what about them damn reppies? Them damn reppies, right? Shaking your fist at them, right? At this point, I'm like, yo, y'all need to figure this out before everything goes belly up, because it's already happening right now. So yes, that means air shipment delays. That means traveling is jacked up. So you can't go see Gam Gam, possibly. Or getting to see her might be a bit of a struggle. It might be a fight. Shoot, flights might be even more expensive because of that. Think about all that. If you went and bought something on Temu, it might take some time. All right? Like I said, you bought something on Temu, or hey, food. Let's not forget about that. Things that could be flown in, food, goods, etc., that are flown in to America to provide other people, to provide Americans, those types of things could be gone too. Might be very difficult to get those things. All I'm saying is this is not good, and they need to figure out what the hell's going on as soon as possible. They need to stop with the mess, stop the finger pointing, get together, have a powwow so we can all have a holly jolly Christmas. Damn it, have a holly jolly Thanksgiving as well, dag nabbit. But let's take a look at this. Shutting down some airspace. This is a new one for me. I ain't never heard this before in my damn life. Let's take a look. So Department of Transportation might be forced to shut down, some airspace as soon as next week. So the Department of Transportation might be forced, like I just said a second ago, to shut down certain parts of airspace in the country if the government shutdown continues into next week. That government shutdown, yeah. Okay. So if you bring us to a week from today, Demis, if you bring us to a week from today, Democrats, you will see mass chaos, he said. You will see mass flight delays. You will see. Oh, this is from, sorry, I'm so sorry. This is from the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy. So he said this today. So let me say that again. So if you bring us to a week from today, Democrats, he's speaking straight over to these lefties. Ain't that crazy? He said, these damn leftists, liberals, y'all the problems. Y'all the one stealing the food out of children's mouths and messing up this traveling situation. So he says, you will see mass chaos. You will see mass flight delays. You'll see mass cancellations. And you may see us close certain parts of the airspace because we just cannot imagine it we cannot manage it because we don't have the air traffic controllers. You got air traffic controllers basically saying, we got a possible boom boom threat. So they are acting, they are working, they are active, they exist. But he's got a point. At some point, these air traffic controllers are going to be like, I'm out. I'm delivering Papa John's for the next 6 weeks. I'm out. Deuces. Bye. See you when I see you. Let me know when the lights are turned back on, but I can't do this. This is too cold. And I got to feed my kids. And I'm working 12-hour shifts or whatever the shifts are like there. And I ain't getting nothing. And then I go back home and I still have to look at my kids and tell them that they might not have a Christmas this year solely because of what's going on here. I could barely put gas in my car. And you know for a fact, everybody is about a paycheck away from being damn broke out here in these damn streets, though. So you tell me how these air traffic controllers are going to be able to hold out for 2 more weeks right now. 2 more. That'll be 6. If they do 2 more weeks of this BS, that's 6 weeks. Do you know? That's 3 paychecks. If they're getting paid every 2 weeks, that's 3 paychecks gone, baby. Gone. And they have not said anything about them getting back pay. They are still trying to defend. They're still trying to determine that, y'all, which is absolutely knuckin' futz. So even when the money meter gets turned back on, there's a possibility. There's a good possibility that they're all starting from ground zero. Remember, the average American is 1 paycheck away from being broke as hell. So imagine what these guys are doing whilst they are doing this job. Pretty wild stuff. Nearly 50% of all major air traffic control facilities face staffing shortages, according to the FAA. So, air traffic controllers are required to work without pay for the duration of the shutdown, which is highway robbery. That is highway robbery to the fullest extent. I'm sorry, not sorry. This is jacked up. And I know some people are like, well, suck it up. Suck it up, buttercup. That's the job you got. That's what you said you're going to do, right? But how about this? Let me just be real. Shout out to all you air traffic controllers that are holding it down, still holding it down. Real talk. Shout out to all y'all. I salute you. But here's the thing. I'll ask anybody. How long would you stick around at a job when you're not getting paid? And there's, before you say anything, before you even start tinkering away onto your QWERTY keyboards with some snarky remark, let me add a little bit of a caveat here. How long would you stay at a job that ain't paying you and there is no government shutdown? Think about that for a second. Or in fact, that you are not affected by the government shutdown. How long? You're a grown-ass human being, grown-ass. How long would you go to that job? Continue doing what you're doing for that job. Highly stressful job. You ain't getting paid not 1 penny. How long would you stay there for? I tell you what, I'll give you this for free. You out. I'll answer it for y'all. You out in 2 seconds. 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, as some would say. 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. You mean to tell me I ain't getting paid for this? Wait, but I thought, see, now what happened was my wife called and I got things to do, so I got to go. Bye. Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity, man. But yeah, I can't just be doing this like this, man. You know, not even a little bit of money. Not even a little, man. You know that like people at McDonald's are getting some serious pay. You mean to tell me I can't even get that kind of salary? Not even Walmart salary? Hourly wage? Not nothing? How about a sandwich? How about a shift sandwich? Can you just pay me in food? No? Okay, we good. God bless you. Good night. And I'd be out. So about 13,000 air traffic controllers are currently working without pay. So that's according to the FAA. On Friday, the agency said 80% of the New York area staff had called out. Diggity damn. 80% of the New York staff, New York area staff called out. See what I'm talking about? But you see what I'm talking about, though? You see that, though? You see that? 80% of them said, we out. We out. Now, here's the thing. If they get back pay when the government reopens, here's the thing. They're not getting paid right now. And God knows when the government is actually going to reopen. Remember, this is all on if the government reopens. What, you're going to call your banks? I mean, I'm sure whoever has mortgages and all that stuff. Sure. I'm sure that they're going to be like, hey, we'll talk, that kind of thing. We can work things out for you, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you still have to hope and pray that the government shutdown gets shut down soon. So then you can get that back pay toot sweet very quickly, as soon as possible, right? On delay, right? But if you notice, people at 80% of the New York area staff have called out because they can't hold water. They can't hold it down that long anymore. They have to figure something else out while this government shutdown continues rolling forward. And if it lasts for another month, that 80% is going to be 100. Oh, I'm sure whimsical. USPS, United States Postal Service, probably not getting paid at all as well. You're going to see less and less people moving mail. Yeah. Just like I said, Mika. And it's just in time for the holidays. This is not good. Like I said, this is affecting a lot more than the SNAP benefits. While everybody is sitting there, well, not everybody, but while there is a portion of the world that is having a grand old time poking fun, pointing and laughing at the situation where there are 42 million people that are about to starve, if not starving right now, because of the SNAP benefits being shut off. They're not realizing that there's other people that are suffering too now as well. Some of these people would have been filing or trying to get SNAP benefits right now because they can't get paid for their damn job. This would be the perfect time for them to to apply for some sort of food stamps right now. You see what I'm saying? And that is shut down as well. Not everybody that's using that SNAP benefits is finessing the system. Yes, there's people that are going to finesse. Okay? It's just like if you give somebody an opportunity, a student an opportunity to cheat on a test, they will not everybody, but some people will try to take that opportunity to cheat on a test. It just is what it is. That's on the teacher to make sure that these students are not cheating, just like the government. It's the government's job to make sure that their people are not finessing the system. That's on them. But there are truly people out here that could really use those SNAP benefits. And I believe if you can use it and use it temporarily so you can get back on your feet, then use it. Use it temporarily. There's no shame in the game. There's no shame in it. That's why it exists. Use it. Get yourself back up on your feet and move on. And be appreciative of that. And contribute, pay your taxes, do your things, right? But that's it. So again, the people that are out here pointing and poking fun at the situation, shame on them. And I would hate for karma to come back to them and bite them in the ass. And suddenly they're in financial ruin or they're in dire straits. And then what did they do? They turned to SNAP benefits. But they're the same people that were online chatting it up, making fun of people, making these fake AI videos that aren't real at all, trying to pass them off as real, making fun of people that actually do need the funds. It's messed up. It's affecting, this government shutdown is affecting everyone. Everyone. It's affecting you too. Now, if you guys think, oh, it's not affecting me, I don't have to worry about nothing. I'm going to sit here idly by until they figure it all out. It's affecting you too. If you decide to fly, you need to travel to go see Gam and Paw Paw for the holidays, or flying out somebody that you love to see you coming into town that you're really looking forward to. Maybe the plane ticket was already bought, scheduled, ready to go, because the earlier you buy it, the cheaper it is, right? Now you got to worry about if they're going to be here. Now you got to worry about if they're going to actually show up. And then also if they're going to get back home okay. I'm just saying, we are living in some wild times, and it's affecting all of us. All of us. Republican, Democrat, far left, far right, and everybody in between. It's affecting us all. And now they're saying that it could shut down, literally shut down portions of airspace by as soon as next week. Is absolutely asinine. It's asinine to me. So I'm going to play this clip. It's got to go through its ad crap. But this is some wild stuff. And here's the thing. Like I said, ain't nothing like a good road trip. At the end of the day, if it's a situation where you really need to go see family, go see them. Family is everything. Do whatever you can. Do what you can. Family over everything. All day. All right? And you never know when you're not going to see that family member anymore. You know, it's funny. I saw this TikTok, random thing, but I'm just a little bit of a left turn. But I saw this TikTok where somebody was like, man, you know, I don't know if she was having like a stoner moment or something. I don't know. But I thought it was really profound what she said. Okay. She said, you know, there's a time in life where you have, if you're lucky enough, you have all generations living at the same time. Like if you are a father or a mother, you know, you have a kid, your mom is still alive, or your grandparents, or sorry, your parents are still alive. Their grandkid is alive at the same time. It's a really amazing moment when all generations are all under one roof, right? It's a pretty amazing feeling. And she was like, hey, you know, pull out your phone, not to just be on the phone and seeing what's going on TikTok, but like take those videos, take those photos, because it's not very often that you get all those family members in the same room at the same time, all alive, cherishing life in these generations, and how the generations and, you know, the bloodline has passed from one person, from one to another to another. It's pretty amazing stuff, right? This is the reason why we have these holidays. This is the reason why we have these moments. So I get it. Sometimes, you know, you got to do whatever you can to get to see your family, because it might be the last time you see the family. I know that sounds morbid. I know that sounds dramatic, but I'm being real. That's why I say, hey, forget flying. Do the road trip if you can. Straight up, do the road trip. And spend time with your family, you know, spend time with the ones that matter. Let's take a look at this. Crazy stuff, y'all. This is some wild stuff we're living in.
Christian Secretary Duffy here is again warning this could get worse. What happens if they have to close airspace in some areas?
This is probably the most dire warning that we've heard from the Secretary of Transportation during this shutdown. If they don't have enough air traffic controllers, they won't risk it. They will reduce the number of planes in the air so that the controllers who are working are able to safely manage that airspace. But if you have more than the usual people, you know, calling out sick, you may have to shut down airspace in portions of the country. Let's listen to what the Secretary said just a few moments ago.
Nuts.
So if you bring us to a week from today, Democrats, you will see mass chaos, you will see mass flight delays, you'll see mass cancellations, and you may see us close certain parts of the airspace because we just cannot manage it because we don't have the air traffic controllers. And that was.
Let me pause that really quick. You heard that, right? I hope you heard that. But I think it's also interesting that he's saying Democrats, that he's just pointing the blame solely on Democrats. I'm sorry, guys. I know some of you guys have your own personal political bias and all that. I get that. But I also have my opinion here too. And I think it has to do with both sides. Both sides are to blame. All right. And what they're doing is they're spinning it. They're just basically trying to say it's the damn Democrats all the time. When this is a situation, I feel, that could have been solved a long time ago if they were able to go in the same room and talk and just dish it out. That's what I think. This is where we're at. But they start using divisiveness. They start using these words. They start bringing out this type of narrative because they want, I don't know. I don't know what they want. I don't know if they want like everybody to suddenly convert to republicanism or something like that. I don't know. But I think it's both sides. It's both sides of the situation. They need to figure this thing out. It's not just Democrats. It's also Republicans. The two sides make a thing go right. Okay? It's not just mama and it's not just daddy. It's both of them. Okay? They need to sit in a room and they need to dish it out and figure it out and move the F on. I'd like to hear a little bit from the Democrats, though. I will say that. I want to hear from the Democrats. We haven't heard much from the Democrats now, have we? I'd like to hear a little bit more from them as well. That would be fantastic. But at the same time, when it all comes down to all this stuff turning into mucky muck right now, I blame them all. I blame them all, y'all. That's what I think.
And a similar situation happened in 2019 on day 34 and day 35, and that is what many believe ultimately ended the shutdown during the last round.
Sam, are there any tips to be gleaned here for travelers, or is it just show up early, check in often, and hope for the best?
Yeah, I mean, really, this is like, kind of Russian roulette here. You don't know where the controller is going to go out, which facilities they're going to call out from. There are air traffic control facilities in this country that control airspace across multiple states. So, for example, Denver Center is an air traffic control center in Denver, but it handles all of the air traffic above 18,000 feet in parts of Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, and Colorado. So if you get a couple of controllers who call out there, that impacts a lot of people in a lot of different states. So it really just depends on where these callouts happen to who's affected.
We are screwed. Hate to say it like that, but we are in some serious.
If the name was.
We are in some serious, deep donkey doo-doo. Okay? We are in some serious, deep donkey doo-doo. Seriously. And it needs to be, whatever needs to be figured out, needs to be figured out. Because I'm telling you right now, of course, we just had a boom boom threat with an airline, with a plane. Unconfirmed boom boom threat. Then you had another thing happening, right? Yesterday with Frontier. Then they're saying that they might have to shut down some of airspace by next week if this government shutdown continues going the way it continues. But then we got to talk about Snap. I know. Now, I just broke this as a YouTube short. And I put it as a reel. I put it on TikTok and all that because this is very important. And I've been covering this and following this very closely because this matters. Okay? This truly, truly matters. But we have to talk about this because this truly matters. So you know about the SNAP benefits. You know about the food stamps. We have 42 million Americans that utilize it. Whether they finesse and abuse the system or they use it because they need it, use it properly, and then to walk away from it, that's another thing, okay? That I'm leaving that conversation off to the side. At the end of the day, I think about the kids. I think about how these kids are not going to be able to eat, how there are people that truly need the funding. There are people who truly appreciate and need the funding. Everybody's rolling around trying to be like, oh, yeah, wear a condom and stop having these kids and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Okay, I heard you. We heard that. I bet. But what about all those people that did have those kids that do need the benefits? What about that single person that just started the job that they've been wanting to get? Finally got the job, but they're not getting the payments that they were getting, that they thought they were getting. So they sign up and apply for SNAP, and they get that SNAP benefit because they need a little bit more help so that they can get on their feet. What about those people, right? We can't just automatically just do a blanketed reaction and just be like, let these kids, F them kids. Let these kids starve. That's insane to me. You got 42 million people that could really use the help. Some more, way more than others. So then we hear about that, right? That they suddenly, all the states basically come out basically saying, we don't have the funds anymore. We can't give you guys any funding for the month of November. Okay. People reacted. Understandably. It was a very visceral and guttural reaction to the fact that SNAP was no more. So then 25 states decided to sue the administration for this situation because they thought this thing was wrong. And there's a contingency fund that's literally there. It is erected and made specifically for things like this, for moments like this. But they weren't willing to touch it at that time until judges, 2 different federal judges, ruled that the Trump administration was to use that funding, that contingency funding, for the SNAP benefits, which is exactly what that contingency fund is made for. So they got all that information. Then all of a sudden, this was yesterday, just giving you a quick timeline. Yesterday, Trump administration says, oh yeah, we can use the $5 billion that's in the contingency fund, but we need an extra 4 to be able to pay everybody, to give everybody the SNAP benefits. So we can't really use it. We can't really use, what we're going to do is we're going to be able to do partial. We'll be able to pay some people, but we won't be able to pay everybody else. All right? We'll be able to pay a portion of the country, not everybody. Of course, my reaction was, well, what does that mean, though? When you say portion, how much is a portion? Because a portion could be 99% of people. It could mean up 1% of people. So what portion? Just let us know what that is. So then all of a sudden now, today, a new curveball came up. Trump went to his Truth Social and he said this: SNAP benefits, which increased by billions and billions of dollars many-fold during crooked Joe Biden's disastrous term in office due to the fact that they are haphazardly handed to anyone for the asking, as opposed to just those in need, which is the purpose of SNAP, will be given only when the radical left Democrats open up the government, which they can easily do, and not before. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President DJT. Now, here's what's interesting about this. I talked about this in my YouTube short, or in my reel, or my TikTok, wherever you saw it. This is after a court-appointed ruling was made. I want to make that abundantly clear. This is after, and I'm going to repeat this again. This is after federal judges ruled that he must use that contingency fund to fund SNAP benefits. And now he is turning to those judges and giving them the finger. That's basically what he's doing. Oh, let's not forget this too. Let's not forget this too. He's also using starving children as ransom against the damn Demis. Yeah, that's actually what's happening right now. He's basically saying, now these starving children are on your shoulders. Their blood is on your hands. Any child that starves, it's on you, you damn Demis. You're not seeing that? Because I already know, I get it. There are people out here that are super hardcore Trump supporters, nonstop Trump till they die, right? And they're like, yeah, man, be the boss. Gangster, bro. Okay. But you mean to tell me that this is okay? I already know y'all. Some of y'all be like, well, I see her hair done and her nails did. But she out here just buying Oreo cookies and Reese's peanut butter cups with them damn food stamps. Well, if that's what she wants to buy, that's what she wants to buy. But at the same time, the government gave her or them that particular SNAP benefit. Why are you pocket watching in the first place? Who gives a damn? And how do you know? What if her friend is really good at doing nails and really good at doing hair? Have you ever thought about that? No one thinks about these things. They just listen to what they see on social media and they turn it around, try to smack it up, flip it, rub it down, and make people look like they're buttholes when they're not. You truly do not know what people are going through. And people do not have the right to sit there and tell who can and who cannot use these benefits if the government is allowing them to have those benefits. Let the government figure that out. Period. But now we're talking about 42 million Americans that truly, really, truly need the funding. Let's be real. Maybe it's not all 42 million Americans, okay? That really need it. Some of y'all can do without. Some of y'all will do fine. But there's millions and millions of Americans that need that money, need that funding so they can continue paying food, putting food on the table, and feeding their kids. But now we got a situation, like I said, where he is dangling starving families now. Potential starving families. I mean, we only in the 4th day of the month, by the way. It's only November 4th. Some people, I'm sure, are scraping through their cupboard, feeding their kids with what they got left in the cupboard right now. But soon enough, say another couple days, these people are people who really do lean on the SNAP benefits. They are going to feel the lack of. May not be right now, but they're going to feel it soon. That's not good. But now he's saying it's because of the radical left, because of the Democrats, shaking his fist. Them damn Demis all over again. When just the other day, yesterday, yeah, we're going to get it. We're going to work on it. We just can't pay. We just don't have enough for everybody. But we can start working on something. We'll figure it out. We'll handle it. As he said a few days before that, we're going to handle it. We'll handle it. We'll handle it. And now he's like, nope, we're not doing it anymore. Radical left Democrats is to blame. Point your fingers and point your anger in their direction because they're the ones who are starving you and your kids. That's what's happening now. That's what's happening right now. And you can't tell me otherwise. It's right there in black and white. Posted on his Truth Social. And you tell me that this is right? Again, 2 federal judges ruled he must use that contingency fund to fund SNAP. And now he's saying no. What's to come of that? Ain't that illegal? Something to think about. Something to think about. I know some of y'all don't give a damn about this because, you're fine. You're able to pay your bills and do your stuff, and you got a good job, and you don't have to struggle. You don't have to worry about where the next paycheck is going to come. But there's a lot of people, including federal employees that have been furloughed, that are literally working for free right now, that would be signing up for SNAP right now. just so that they can hold water during this tumultuous time. And they can't even use that. It's insane to me. It's absolutely insane. And the fact that we're going to flip it around and make it seem like to point blame at everybody else, but not turn the mirror back at yourself and look at what's going on here within the administration and all the people surrounding the administration. They're all to blame. They're all to blame. Now, somebody said something. I got to look this up really quick. Okay? Hold on. No. Yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't like apparently there's rumor flowing around right now, but there is no confirmation of this specific rumor, so I'm not gonna rock with that right now because I don't see anything about it right now. Hold on. I'm just checking something here. Hold on. I mean, they're okay. So there's see, that's the thing. I'm trying to see if there's any actual. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking at here. People are talking about like he needs to be impeached, but there's no I don't see any confirmation of someone actually saying that Trump is actually getting impeached. Does that make sense? So if that may just be rumor that's floating around here, because I'm sure there's a lot of people asking for that right now. Totally understandable why people would react in that kind of way, because this kind of stuff is pretty insane. And of course, I am kind of curious. Hold on. Yeah, that is true. Beautiful messy ball. They've been talking about impeaching him since he walked in. They were like, we want to send him his eviction notice as soon as he even just put his bags in his damn room. They're like, nah, we need to get him out, right? But let us continue on. So the fact that portions of airspace may be shut down is absolutely crazy. Okay. Then you also have boom boom threats that are going on. Then you also have the elections that are going on right now as well, too. Okay. There are elections going on, like the mayoral elections are going on in New York City right now as we speak, all day in New York City. Obviously, there's a lot of people that have been watching that like crazy. You got Cuomo versus Mamdani. This is going to be a very interesting breakdown. It's going to be interesting to see who wins. People are predicting Mamdani is about to win. I have a strong feeling he may win as well. Let's not forget Cuomo is Cuomo. Okay. Yes, governor and governor for New Jersey as well. That's what's going on as well. Yes. But at the same time, remember, okay. Hold on. I'm just checking something here. But those are some big elections that are going on right now, right? No. And Patty, I appreciate you sending it to me, or bringing that up. But I don't see anything about it. But thank you so much for letting me know. Now I'm going to be on alert, to see if to see what's up. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens here. But of course, hold on. Oh yeah, and I good for you, beautiful messy ball. Especially in New York and in the New Jersey area, if you are in those areas, definitely vote. Okay, this is the moment where you can make your voice heard. Bring the right people in that you give a damn about to be, who you believe would be great elected officials to do their job, to do what they need to do in in your neck of the woods. Definitely vote. Okay. Don't just sit back and do nothing. All right. And then complain later about how you don't like this particular person in what they're doing. This is the opportunity to vote the person that you give a damn about and you believe gives a damn about you, to get them into office. But don't be moaning and complaining if you ain't out here voting. You see what I'm saying? So let me get these super chats here really quick. So Jessica, thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Beautiful messy ball. Thank you so much. Kids who are from poor families get 2 free meals at school a day. This is not affected by the shutdowns or SNAP. It's more nuanced than people make it. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but yeah, sure. That it doesn't affect the meals that they're getting at school. Sure. But what about when they get back home? Right? What about dinner? What about, and I get it that most of these kids that are asking for those meals at school, they're probably not getting enough food at home in the first place. But imagine them not having anything at all now, right? But yeah, I get that it's a lot more nuanced than people make it, for sure. I know that there's levels to this BS, right? There's levels, but the thing is, you can't just make just like what you're saying. You can't make just one blanketed statement on everything, because everyone's situation. You're talking about 42 million people that have different financial breakdowns, different financial situations than the next. Every single person is different, like a thumbprint, right? A fingerprint. Every fingerprint is different. Everyone has a different fingerprint, right? So every single person is, there's, everyone has a complicated breakdown, that are using these SNAP benefits, right? So again, that's why I say it's not fair for those who are making that blanketed statement about every person that uses the SNAP benefits. There are people that truly need those benefits for sure, without question. But like I said, I feel like there should be a time constraint in a way. Maybe that will lessen the amount of people that apply for it or something like that. I don't know. It's something where I feel like the government needs to tighten things up for sure, because there are people that are utilizing it and abusing the hell out of it for sure. But I also think that there needs to be, I just don't think it's unfair for us to be taking just, oh, okay, abolish and destroy the SNAP benefits because too many people are taking advantage of it. There's plenty of people that are taking advantage of it, but there's plenty of people that truly need it. So I say tighten up the procedure, tighten up how the red tape and the paperwork, but that's on the government side. They need to do their due diligence. That's basically it, right? But I hear you 100%, beautiful messy ball. Moving on. Janobi, thank you so much. Word is memo going around. He isn't going to back pay us, our U.S. federal workers, now, even though there is a law. Yeah, this is the reason why I was talking about the possibility of them not giving these furloughed workers back pay, because even Caroline Levitt, she went up on her during her little press conference just a little bit ago, and they asked about that. What about people in their pay? Are they going to get back pay? And she could not answer that question. And I was listening to that before we went live. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm going to have to find that moment so you guys can hear that too, because I'd rather you guys hear it from the horse's mouth, not just from me. Medusa, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Steve Baker, thank you so much for the love. My sister has seizures, also had brain surgery. I'm sorry to hear that. She's going to lose her SNAP benefits. I help her because I am an Army veteran. Well, thank you so much for your service, and thank you so much for holding it down for your sister, bro. Damn, that's a good brother right there. See, family. That's why you hold it down for family, y'all. If I didn't, she would be in trouble. See, okay, I am so thankful for Stephen, okay? First off, thank you so much. Second, let me just say this. This is a perfect example of why I'm saying we must be checking in on each other. If you know anybody that's on SNAP benefits that was really hoping for those SNAP benefits, please check in on them. Sure, you can't hold them down all the time, every day, but I'm sure you can help them out with something. Because those food pantries, those food drives, they're getting ran through. They're getting emptied out quickly because there's a lot of people, like I said, everybody who's sitting there throwing out shade and side-eyeing this BS, this situation, this terrible situation, laughing at people as they're standing in line for just some canned goods. It's disturbing, it's disgusting, and it's wrong. And then some of y'all say you Christian. Come on now. God-fearing Christian folk out here laughing and poking fun at this situation. This is the moment that we should be looking into and leaning into the goodness of us. You know, I'm still that person who believes that we are all innately good. And all I ask for you guys to do is to check in on that friend, check in on that family member. Don't throw shade, throw help, throw assistance, throw a kind heart in their direction, because that's what they need. They don't need judgment. They need support. Check in on those that you care for just to see if they're okay. They might be okay for now, but God knows how long this government shutdown is going to be. And I said it in my YouTube short, but this is the time that we need to be leaning in on each other and helping each other, because the government, for damn show, is not helping us right now. So do the right thing. Spike Lee, okay? Do the right thing. Take the godly route. Yeah, I threw God in here. Okay? I pulled out the dumb Bible, okay? And threw it in your dumb face. The dumb Bible. Okay? Those y'all who sit there laughing, but you're in Sunday Mass. Come on now. That's a bit hypocritical, don't you think? People need help. So help them. You know, and what really burns my cookies about this is that this is right around the time of the holiday time. In a blink of an eye, it's going to be Thanksgiving time. And then a blink of an eye, it's going to be Christmas. Here's my fear. That they're not going to get things figured out for a while. And they're going to break the record for the longest government shutdown in the history of American government shutdown. And it's going to start affecting people even more, to the point where chaos ensues. And no, I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm not. But I'm also trying to bring reality into this situation. When desperation meets lack of options and an open opportunity, people start doing very bad things. So I'm hoping that this is not a situation where we start seeing, as Hayes just said in the chat, chaos. I really hope that that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case. Because we ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Especially right now. Because again, the people who don't have their jobs or they're not getting paid, they don't have their jobs. They are sitting there going, how am I going to, here it is, especially those who have kids. How am I going to be able to do X, Y, and Z? How am I going to be able to give my kids a good Thanksgiving? How am I going to be able to give my kids, God forbid, a good Christmas? Are they going to have to skip Christmas this year? Like I said, those that are laughing about this and poking fun and being like, yeah, get rid of it. I really hope Karma doesn't remember what you guys are saying out here. Because she comes back, and when she comes back, she bites hard. I'm just saying. Janobi, thank you so much. And we're going to be looking at this here in a second. Not the whole thing. I just want to find the clip where it's during the questions. Okay. It's during the question moment. And they're talking about furloughed workers getting back pay. And I want to bring this up because I know somebody said that it's not true that the furloughed workers are getting paid when the shutdown is done. If I remember correctly, they talked about that specifically here during this press conference that happened right before I went live. So, Janobi, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Many times lately, I regret serving this country. Don't want to feel this way, but here I am. My regret runs deep and it's depressing. Now I'm furloughed as well. Damn, this has become insane. So, Janobi, if you mind me asking, if you can share what you do, what is your job? If you mind me asking, okay? Let me know. I would like to know. All right. And Damien just asked, what's back pay? Back pay is basically, okay, so imagine you're furloughed, right? Imagine you are out here, you are working for, say you're an air traffic controller, and you've been working for the past month with no pay. You've been working the hours, free as a bird. Back pay would be them paying you for the time that you spent, for your hours. You'd get basically a very, very fat check when the government shutdown is over. That's what back pay is. So they just catch up. They're just catching you up to what you did for the 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, however long this government shutdown is. Okay. Now that is something that can be an attractive thought for these for these furloughed workers, because then it's like, dang, I'm about to have a fat check when the government turns back on. But there may not be back pay for furloughed workers. Oh, and they don't give you the money all at once? Oh, my bad. That's news to me. I figured it would just be one fat ass check. So maybe they just give you a little bit over time, right? They just add a little bit to your salary over time to catch up to what, they owe you for the time that you served, for the time that you worked during the government shutdown. So again, a lot of people are banking on that back pay, and that might not happen. Let me take a look. Is the question? Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. I think it's like somewhere around here. I'm gonna hop around, so just don't be mad, okay? We're not here to listen to this whole damn thing, okay? But I do want to hear what she has to say about the furloughed stuff. I just got to find it, so just give me a second.
The full amount of SNAP contingency funds by end of business day yesterday. So Did the administration distribute that money or defy that court order?
No, the administration is fully complying with the court order. I just spoke to the president about it. The recipients of these SNAP benefits need to understand.
Hold on. Now they're talking about the SNAP. Perfect timing. Hold on. Let me get to the full question here. That is insane. Because now she is saying, no, President Trump is not doing that. He's still complying to what the judge said. That's not what he said on his Truth Social, now did it?
Move as many good pieces of legislation for our country forward in the next 3 years of his administration as they possibly can, and the filibuster is one means to doing that.
Talked to Johnson and Thune about it. I know that they had both voiced some opposition. Have there been any conversations with them?
He has. He's made his position to them very clear, both publicly and privately. Ouija.
Can you help clear up some confusion about SNAP benefits? Because
Sure.
The president just posted that they will only be given out when the radical left Democrats open the government and not before. But just yesterday, the administration said it would comply with the court order to expend the full amount of SNAP contingency funds by end of business day yesterday. So did the administration distribute that money or defy that court order?
No, the administration is fully complying with the court order. I just spoke to the president about it. The recipients of these SNAP benefits need to understand it's going to take some time to receive this money because the Democrats have forced the administration into a very untenable position. We are digging into a contingency fund that is supposed to be for emergencies, catastrophes, for war. And
it's also supposed to be there for situations like this. It literally is. He even stated that the administration even stated that in 2019, guys. Okay, that these funds are there specifically for moments like this. And then we get to a moment like this, right? And now they're going, oh, never mind. And then again, she's like, "Oh yeah, he's doing that, but we got to go through all this red tape. You see, we got to go through this red tape, and it's so confusing because it's $5 billion, but we need $4 more billion to be able to do this properly. So therefore, what he said on his Truth Social now is a lie, huh? Okay, cabrón. Explain, Caroline. Go ahead.
the president does not want to have to tap into this fund in the future, and that's what he was referring to in his Truth Social post. So
that's not what he said. That's not what he said. That's not a repeat of what he said. Not at all. I know y'all, the supporters out there that are hardcore MAGA are going to sit here and go, no, that is what he said. No, it's not. It's written in black and white like I just showed it to y'all before. So now they're just, yes, classic. This is just word salad. Okay? This is wilted, nasty, dry word salad.
the Department of Agriculture, as for the latest SNAP payment in the judge's order, put out guidance to states today on how to get that money to the recipients of SNAP. But it's going to take some time. The best way to get the full amount of SNAP benefits to those beneficiaries is for Democrats to reopen the government. So to anyone who is a SNAP beneficiary at home who needs that assistance, and the president was just saying, this is for people who are truly needy, who need food, who need this assistance from the United States government. Democrats are holding it up and making it difficult for the administration to get those payments out the door. So if you are at home and you want your SNAP benefits, call the Democrats and tell them to reopen the government.
Wow. Woo! She is very well trained. I'm sorry. Very well trained. Oh my God. Like I said, it is the spin for me. That is spin. That is spin. That is not it. Hold up. That is not at all what he said. Okay? That's not at all what he said. Let's take a look at that one more time. Here it is. SNAP benefits, which is increased by billions and billions of dollars, many-fold, during crooked Joe Biden's disastrous term in office, due to the fact that they were haphazardly handed to anyone for the asking, as opposed to just to those in need, which is the purpose of SNAP. I agree with that part. Like, yes, there are people who abuse the system for sure. Will be given only when, here's the part. Will be given only when the radical left Democrats open up the government, which they can easily do, and not before. So it's not like he said, we're doing everything we can to move mountains to get these SNAP benefits out to the people, but to open up and get more benefits to more people, like we can only give you so much. Okay? We can only give you so much right now. We only have $5 billion that we can use. Okay? But if the Democrats actually reopen the government, then we can open up and use that $4 billion from somewhere else, and we can get the benefits to everyone. He's not saying that here. He does not say that not once here. Not once. He does not. So now you got the queen of swing, okay, or spin. I'm sorry, the queen of spin coming out here and saying, "Oh, well, that's y'all got to twist it. See, you need to register it differently." What he meant was, this is not what he said. It's not. But they're trying to flip it because they don't want any issues legally going towards Trump, which he's already having a lot of legal issues right now. Let's keep it a bean. He's got plenty of legal issues going on. All right. With everything that's been going on with SNAP benefits and then some. But now she spun that ish. She spun that. That is insane. And what's wild is because it came out of her mouth, there are going to be people on the right that are going to eat that up as if that is scripture. Oh yeah, that's what he said. That's exactly what he said. No, it's not. Read the text one more again. You can't fake that. I would give him, I'm sorry. With this situation, like I said, I am on the side of feed the people. Okay? I am on the side of feed the people. I don't care. Feed the people. I don't care about, but there's people who are finessing the system. Then get better government. Get the government to vet those people properly and better. That's it. Okay. But there are people that truly do need that funding to feed their kids. I'm worried about the kids. Forget political bias here. I throw all that stuff on the side. Throw it all to the side. When you got kids that are about to start starving, now you got a problem with me. Period. And what's wild to me is that people are going to look at this and hear this and go, oh, well, then if that's the case, then that's what he said. It's not at all what he said. Not at all. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This has nothing to do with whether I like Trump or not. This has to do with kids getting food in their bellies and not starving. This ain't Gaza. What the hell's going on here, man? This is not right. Period. And the fact that she's spinning this when he definitely put that out, saying something completely different. And if he is bending the rules and breaking the law, he needs to be held accountable for that. But she's trying to move mountains now to make it sound like he's doing something good. He's not. Read that Truth Social text one more again, and you tell me he's saying, "Oh yeah, we're working it out." That's not at all what he said. He ain't doing nothing, and that's how everybody has been translating that text. This woman is spinning crap.
Blocking that contingency fund for the future if this shutdown lingers on?
Look, the president does not want to have to continue to dip into a contingency fund that doesn't even have enough money, by the way, to fund the full program. It takes.
Who cares? Who cares? Then do something. Do a system or something like that. Give it to the people that truly deserve it, that truly need it at this moment in time. And then when the rest, or to dip into the other funds. Maybe that too. I don't know. This is the problem. It's supposed to be there for this specific reason. Make more money. Or, I mean, put more money in that fund in the first place in the future. You know what I mean? For future reference. I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. But hey, that ballroom's going to be beautiful though, right? It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be gorgeous, right? Shiny and gold and gorgeous, right? But forget the kids. F them kids, right? F them. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
$9 billion to get the full scale of the benefits out the door. This contingency fund only has about $5 billion in it. So again, Democrats need to reopen the government so we can get these benefits out the door for people who truly need them. Kate.
Thanks. The president suggested that if Mamdani.
I still don't know how she can believe the stuff that is coming out of her mouth with this. I'm like, nah, you lost me on this. But okay. All right, let's continue though. I'm going to try to find that furloughed back pay situation. Hold up.
Wins that he would cut federal funding to New York. How much funding would be impacted? What would be impacted there?
Yeah, he did say like, yo, yeah, I know the government's not paying for the ballroom. No, it was a joke. It was a joke. Seriously, it was a joke. All right. I already know. I know that people are like, but it's not. And it's like, I get that. That's not what I'm talking about. He's getting money from all these people to build this doggone ballroom. Okay, this massive ballroom. Cool. All right, turn it into the Taj Mahal. I don't care. But at the same time, I'm like, but you got people that need food that could use the assistance. What about them? How about Zuckerberg and the Bezoses and all them? Can't they just, contribute a little bit of money into the funds or something like that? Can we have that conversation? What about that? Right? But like I said, I'm just a guy on a microphone. I don't have all the solutions. Okay. All I got is my opinions and my heart. And my heart says that these kids that truly need it should have already gotten the funds already. They should have rolled this out like them stimmies, the stimulus checks, right? Remember that from his first term? Roll it out. Give it to the people that really, truly need it right now. Whatever, but get it out now. Now, here it is. Janobi, thank you so much for being a member for the past 2 months. I appreciate it. I work for the NOAA. Oh, okay. Now in Alaska. Okay, that's what's up. Well, shoot, I'm sorry that you are putting in the work and not getting anything right now. That's pretty insane, right? But I understand you and a lot of other people are going through the same thing, right? So yeah, let's continue on. Let me see if I can find the thing.
Well, look, we won't get ahead of the election results, nor will I speak to what the president may do in the future. We'll see how tonight goes, and then I'll let him speak on it further.
And why did the administration exclude Democratic lawmakers last week? There was a briefing about U.S. strikes on alleged drug trafficking boats. Why were those Democrats excluded?
Hold on.
Guarantee that all furloughed workers will get back to law and the stability of
Rachel.
I remember it being earlier on in the conversation in the Q&A section of her press conference, and like I said, this is insane. All right. Now, of course, Trump did say that he would cut funding to New York if Mamdani wins the mayoral slot and all that. It's insane. Okay, it's absolutely insane that these things are actually allowed. That he could actually do these things. I think that's pretty insane. Rather than it being, okay, he won the election. Let's just say he wins the election, right? Okay, he's running the city. The right thing to do is to work in tandem, work side by side, regardless of his political views or not. If they go with his side by side or go against his political views, he is still a servant for this country and for the city. They should have something in common right off the bat for that. Trying to lead and trying to do the right thing. Right? But he's literally going I will not, I will cut off federal funding for New York City, his own stomping grounds, his birthplace, for crying out loud. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so, and somebody said that this is that's a whimsical. Just said that's election tampering. Some could see that as well, but some could see Elon Musk going, "Hey, I'll give you $1 million to vote for Trump." People could see that too, as voter tampering as well. But you know, I'm not the ones who make the rules, right? But let's hear about the furloughed conversation right here.
Caroline, there's been some reporting out there about the possibility of furloughed workers not getting back pay. We know that the president signed that bill into law in his first term. Does the administration guarantee that all furloughed workers will get back pay?
This is something we are very much open to discussing with Democrats as part of the discussions about the continuing resolution to keep the government open. And it's something that Republicans are talking with Democrats about right now. I won't get ahead of those negotiations or discussions.
You heard that, right? Let me roll that back. I know it's bad news for a lot of you guys. Okay. For those y'all, you know, shout out to Genobi and the likes of Genobi. Okay. That have these jobs where they are furloughed right now and they are working nonstop every day, doing whatever they can on the side to keep their lives floating in the same trajectory and speed it's been going for however long they've had that job. Now that they're furloughed, a lot of people don't have savings. A lot of people don't have enough for savings. Okay? But I'm telling you right now, look, listen to that question again. This question would not exist if furloughed workers were going to get back pay. Let me repeat that one more time for you guys. Take a listen.
With the 9th coming tomorrow. Rachel.
Thanks, Caroline. There's been some reporting out there about the possibility of furloughed workers not getting back pay. We know that the president signed that bill into law in his first term. Does the administration guarantee that all furloughed workers will get back pay?
This is something we are very much open to discussing with Democrats as
There's a conversation and a thing that we're willing to have discussions with Democrats. Remember, he signed a bill about back pay or lack thereof. She just mentioned it. So no, right now, these furloughed workers are not going to get back pay unless they have a conversation, unless the Republicans, allegedly, according to Caroline, have the conversation with Democrats. They're They're open to discussion. Open to discussion. Right? Just so you know, this is what's being. I want to make this abundantly crystal clear. One more time. What did she say?
Out there about the possibility of furloughed workers not getting back pay. We know that the president signed that bill into law in his first term.
Furloughed workers not getting back pay. Trump signed a bill for exactly that. Go ahead.
Does the administration guarantee that all furloughed workers will get back pay?
This is something we are very much open to discussing with Democrats as part of the discussions about the continuing resolution to keep the government open. And it's something that Republicans are talking with Democrats about right now. I won't get ahead of those negotiations or discussions.
That's a possibility that may not happen, even though it's law.
I just said Republicans in the White House are very much open to discussing this with Democrats.
You see what I got to hit the dun, dun, dun. Tis law. Tis law, as she said. It is law. But they're dangling that spicy, salty meat right over furloughed workers' heads and saying, oh, ooh, you want this salty meat? Ooh, you want this sausage? You want this sausage? Ooh, you can't get it until we talk to the damn Demis. See what I'm saying? That's very interesting. Oh, yeah, beautiful, messy ball. You ain't wrong. Listen. Caroline, she doing the same thing as she has, like, as every other press secretary has been, okay? They all just sit there and they are a mouthpiece, but it's all about, well, hers is different. The way that, well, all of Trump's press secretaries have been different. Okay. They all have been different. It's very, but hers is more like, thanks to the great, amazing President Trump, who has a 20-foot schlong and millions of dollars, and every woman fawns over him. Without him, we would be nothing, right? The fact that she is sitting here going, yeah, we're open to discussion, basically sounds like we are going to use this opportunity again, like they're doing with the starving, potential starving kids and families. They're also going to dangle this salty piece of meat over hardworking Americans as well. Hardworking, federally funded, hardworking Americans. Ain't that about a shut your mouth? I'm going to play a little bit more. I don't mean to linger too long. Yes, I said schlong. Yes, I did. Yes, because I can't say the other thing because, the kids are in the room. You got your little kids scurrying across the floor, right in front of the TV or right in front of the phone. Okay.
Just one last question. As this government shutdown now drags on, about to make history as the longest government shutdown in American history, can you talk about what the president is personally doing to try to see an end to this?
He's pushing Republicans to keep voting and to keep opening up the Senate floor to vote for the clean continuing resolution. He had the Senate Majority Leader and the House Caucus Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, here at the White House to talk about this in the very early stages, to give them a chance to come to their senses and avoid this entire government shutdown at the very beginning. And they chose not to. And I think it's been very clear to everyone in this room and to everyone across the country that the Democrats are playing partisan politics with our United States federal government. And all Republicans have wanted to do for the last 35 days is reopen the government. That has been the president's position since day one. It is his position today on day 35. And all we need are 5 common sense Democrats have a little bit of courage and come to the table and vote with Republicans. I saw Senator John Fetterman on television last night saying that he hopes more folks in his party will step up. And we certainly agree with him on that point. Sure.
Caroline, the president posted on True Social that the voting underway in California is, quote, rigged. What evidence does he have of that, and what does it mean that mail-in ballots in that state are under legal and criminal review? By whom and why? And also, in this vein, does the White House still plan to issue an executive order banning mail-in voting, and what legal authority do you have to do that?
The White House is working on an executive order to strengthen our elections in this country and to ensure that there cannot be blatant fraud, as we've seen in California with their universal mail-in voting system. It's absolutely true that there's fraud in California's elections. It's just a fact. It is just a fact. They have a universal mail-in voting system, which we know is ripe for fraud. And if you want to deny that, I'm happy to provide you all of the evidence for it. I'd be glad to send that to you after this briefing.
That is wild. That is wild. Okay? That is freaking wild. All right? Okay. So now she's... Woo! Okay, let me just say this. This is very... Those are some very strong statements. Now, is she telling the truth or not? But she's saying that elections are rigged out in California. That is quite the statement to say. Okay, guys, quite the statement. I'm going to let her answer this question here really quick.
Fraudulent ballots that are being mailed in the names of other people and the names of illegal aliens who shouldn't be voting in American elections. There's countless examples, and we'd be happy to provide them. As for executive action the White House is taking, yes, we are looking into that. And like any executive order, of course, any executive order the president signs is within his full executive authority and within the confines of the law. Stephen.
Thank you, Caroline. I've got 2 questions I'd like to ask you about New York, but first I'd like to ask you about breaking news from the Attorney General. She revealed just about an hour ago that the Biden Justice Department seized President Trump's official first-term phone and subpoenaed his private phone records. Do you have a reaction to that? And also, do we know if they actually got those private call records?
I saw the Attorney General's post on that. For additional questions, I would refer you to the Department of Justice, but I think this is just further evidence of the egregious overreach and weaponization of government that took place under the previous White House against then former President and now President Donald J. Trump. It was a clear effort by the Biden White House and the Biden DOJ to go after the president, and this is just further evidence of that.
New York, we've seen the president's messages that he's put out, but could you describe how he's feeling as a New Yorker watching this election?
Well, the president is a New Yorker and he loves New York. It is his home. He talks about that all of the time, and he's made his thoughts on this election quite clear, I think, himself.
Okay. Very, very interesting. And the fact that she said, yeah, this whole thing is rigged. The elections in California, there's a lot of fraud going on over there. It is rigged. Man, that is quite the statement to put out there. And I hope that whatever that they have is proof. At the end of the day, we live in a time where you have to side eye everything that's being said now. I hate to say that, but when he first got elected, second term, I said, let's see what he do. Let's see what he do. Let's see how he handles things, because at the end of the day, if America is winning, I have no problem. As long as we're winning, us, all of us, okay, all of the U.S., not just one demographic or one financial bracket, okay? But then you got the Epstein stuff that came up. So now I side-eye a lot of stuff. At that moment, I started side-eyeing. Bang. You still, by the way, I haven't forgotten about the Epstein files. And I for damn sure know you haven't forgotten about the Epstein files. But notice that that's not even on the table anymore. Oh, they're supposed to be swearing in a specific representative that they haven't even sworn that person in at all, because they were trying to, well, the assumption is that they were trying to avoid them voting for the release of certain Epstein files. So that particular elected official hasn't even been sworn into office yet, into their position yet, by Mike Johnson, solely because they're trying to block certain things from being unearthed or exposed to the public. That's insane, y'all. So you got that going on top of the shutdown that's going on. And, so instantly when you see all of that, when they say, oh, there's a list, you're going to be so shocked by the people and the information. We're going to drain the swamp, everybody. Then suddenly when it came to draining the swamp, they go, oh, there's no way we can drain the swamp because there is no swamp. Which makes no sense, guys. None. Okay? None. As soon as that stuff happened, that's when I started side-eyeing things. That's when I started questioning things. That's when the likes of someone like Caroline, who, by the way, she's doing her job. This is her job. And, it is true. All press secretaries do the same damn thing. They all talk word salad. It's all BS. Whether it's Biden, Trump, Obama's team, it doesn't matter. They all talk trash. They all talk a mess. It's all word salad, trying to make the president look as good as best as possible, right? But when you have all those things that are going on, yeah, you definitely, at least me, I'm side-eyeing the hell out of the stuff. I question everything. And I get it. There are people who are diehard. Diehard. And by all means, be diehard if that's what you want. But at the end of the day, when you start bringing in the situation where people are not getting the funding that they rightfully obtained before, whether they did it by finessing or not, they fooled the government. They were given that. I'm not sitting here saying fool the government. No. Those people shouldn't have the benefits. But does that mean that everybody else who does need those fundings gets punished? The stuff that's going on with the government, the shutdown, the things that are going on between red and blue, do the people who are just trying to live their lives, deserve to be in the middle of the situation and feel the repercussions of two parties' actions? I'll answer that for you guys real quick and easily. No. They shouldn't be feeling the repercussions of what's going on within the government. But once again, we're seeing all this stuff, okay? We're seeing all this stuff dangling the salted meat over very hungry people. And they're going, oh, nope, can't give that to you. Talk to your Democrats. Sorry. I can't give it to you. Can't. Yet, ooh, we got to put this up. Yet, you can have huge, lavish parties during a time that people are beginning to starve. And this is just a clip. And some people said that this wasn't real. Some will say it's fake. But this was real as hell. Trump held a Great Gatsby event. I'm not kidding. Let me just show you what I see here. Girls in martini glasses. Okay. Full on, showgirl type stuff. This was his Halloween party. Now, under any other circumstance, I wouldn't have a problem with this. But while the rest of the country is fighting for their next meal, while they're trying to figure out what they're going to eat for dinner, they are eating salted meats, drinking the finest of champagnes, and enjoying their lives. Some people were saying this is almost like Hunger Games. It's definitely Hunger Game vibes. I see it. I definitely do. This is not the time to be having lavish, extravagant parties, themed parties. This is not the time. When you got a government that's shut down, when you got a country where they're fighting within each other, they are fighting to get food on their tables. There so many threats that are going on out here, domestic and foreign and domestic. This is not the time to be doing the likes of what we just saw. I can't play that music, but I'll let you guys see it. You can't be doing this kind of stuff. You can't. It's tone deaf is all get out. It's tone deaf. And it sends a message to the people, to the American people. It definitely sends a specific type of message. And it's only making people angry. This is the reason why I said, please check on your people. Check on your friends. Check on your family. Check on the people that you give a damn about. Because here's the thing. Those that don't look at this type of stuff and see how tone deaf and how wrong it is, they probably are doing just fine and they're living their lives just fine. But all I ask for you to do is this. Put yourself in the shoes of somebody who doesn't have enough to feed their kids right now. Put yourself in the shoes of somebody who's furloughed, who's been working for a month straight and hasn't seen not one red penny from their job. And they still have to figure out how they're going to feed themselves, if not their family as well. Think about all those things before you start turning a blind eye to the situation. Like, oh, well, they can do what they want, so on and so forth. No, This is the time that they should be thinking about what the American people need, and the American people need the help that they were hoping for right now. This is not the time to be throwing lavish parties, feeding people and eating great foods and all that stuff. This is the time to figure out what needs to be done so that they can open up the country again. That's it. Like I said, before passing judgment, put yourself in those people's shoes for 5 seconds. And I know some people just don't like that thought, and that's fine. You don't need to. But hopefully, good will overcome evil. Listen, I'm praying for a different outcome here, guys, because it's time for different things. That's tone deaf as all get out. Then you got him also at the same time. You got people out there at the same time. You got him at the same time shutting things off. I worry. I really do. Like I said, this is not the time to be celebrating. This is the time to start figuring things out so that the country can get back to where it was again. Like I'm telling you right now, is it great? That, he says, make America great again. Is this great? Is this a great moment? No, it's not. I can answer it for you. It's not. Like I said, at some point, those that don't see what I'm seeing, I truly believe they will get humbled, because it will affect someone they know, or it'll affect them too. Karma will come. The harsh reality of what's going on out here will hit them, and they will see it. But right now, we need to come together as a country. We need to come together as a family. We need to push past our differences and help each other out. This is the time more than ever. This is not the time for divisiveness. This is not the time to divide. This is the time to come together and help the ones that really do need help. Help those right now. Because there are people who are hungry, and I'm scared about, and I'm worried, and I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm just bringing in facts. My fear is that people will get too angry. People will get too pushed to the edge where something bad could happen. But again, everything could be everything could be resolved today. And if that's great, if that happens, then great. I'm going to be doing cartwheels. I will be happy as hell. But I'm telling you right now, when you have people that are hungry and they have no means to get food, desperate times, you know the phrase. And that's what I mean by I worry. I don't know about you guys, but like I went to the supermarket yesterday and 5-0 was all over that place. All over the parking lot, on the inside, at the front like at the front door of the supermarket and all that. I'm not kidding. They're not playing. They are not. So again, let's see what happens. But I hope things get figured out here very, very soon. So again, we'll see what happens here. Okay, guys. Hold on. Let me see this. Wanda, thank you so much. Americans are being robbed of our tax dollars. Yep. That's what people would say right now. That's what people would say for sure. And a lot of people be wondering what the hell's going on here. Okay. So just saying, guys, we'll see what happens though. We will definitely see what happens. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in, being a part of the conversation. We got a lot more conversations to be had here very soon. Okay. You know, I worry about that too. I hope that's not the case. It is what it is. I hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case, but we'll see what happens here. We're living in some wild times, babies. Wild times. So please do me a favor before you head out, okay? Hit the like button down below, please and thank you, okay? Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Hit that reaction button. Don't forget to hit that follow on those other platforms. Make sure you subscribe here on my YouTube channel. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. Make sure you're subscribed to all of those, please and thank you. That would be amazing. Hit that notification bell, set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload. That would be amazing as well. Hit that join button down below, become a member. Check out my Patreon, and of course, check out pascalmerch.com. You got some really great stuff over there. Go check it out. Oh, and of course, I do have that link pinned to the top of the chat, and it's in the description box down below. If you can contribute, that would be amazing. Trying to get to this goal, a little bit goes a long way. So please, if you can, check out that rig. Click on the GoFundMe, and I'd really appreciate the support. All right. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Much love to you guys. We'll be talking here very soon. There's a lot going on, so I might be back on in a very short while. So I'll see you guys very soon. Stay safe out there. Stay fed as well, okay? And look into your friends and family if they need help. Hey, you know, extend a helping hand. This is the time more than ever. The holiday time is the toughest time, usually for a lot of people. So please reach out. Contact those loved ones, okay? Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.